Back by popular demand, we talking about packing.
That's right, we have an entire video on how we pack our bags and how to basically just pack a carry-on bag for long-term travel, so you can watch that here. But in this video, we're just going to be talking about our top 10 favorite items, things we cannot live without when we travel.
So our bags that we travel with are these Kelty Red Wing bags. Mine is a 40 liter and Eric's is a 44 liter. We absolutely love these backpacks. We do kind of more of a thorough walkthrough of them in that other video as well. But this isn't one of our top 10 things, but this is definitely something you should invest in, is a good backpack, because you won't regret it.
So the first item we're talking about today is our compression sacks. Now these are super important. I wanted to start with this one because we verbally say every time that we pack that I don't know what we would do without these things. I have all my clothes that I need in this bag right now, and it starts off at this size with everything in it, and it goes down to that size.
Or even smaller. This one's not even fully compressed yet.
That's right. So it's really nice to be able to compress your bags. I know we kind of were throwing some shade at packing cubes last time, but this is just really nice to just put all of your clothes in, you squish it down, and I honestly can't say any more good things about this.
We get asked a lot what size ours are, and all of these are 20 liters. They're the size medium if you click on the link below. But we find that 20 liter is perfect for us. Eric has 2 in his 44 liter bag, and I have 1, so it's kind of up to you what size exactly you want, but we like the 20 liter size because it fits perfectly in our bags.
That's right. The only con that I can think of with this is that your clothes will get a little bit more wrinkly, but I think you can probably just roll them up more properly, which we don't do. But
or buy non-wrinkly clothes.
That's right. Get rid of that.
Don't hit the camera. Before we continue on with this list, I just wanted to quickly mention that all of these things will be linked in our Amazon shop below. So if you do shop through there, it does support our channel, so we really appreciate that. But also just check out all the things we have on our list there, because yeah, maybe you'll get some more inspiration of other things you need to buy before you travel. The second item that we always travel with now is a dry bag backpack. This is so awesome for if it's raining, if you're doing any sort of water activities. It's so nice to have one bag that you can travel with. You can put all of your day trip activity stuff in, and you just know it won't get wet. This thing is actually just like an official dry bag, so when you roll it up, it's completely sealed. So if it's sitting at the bottom of a boat, or if it just starts pouring rain, you don't have to worry about your camera being in it, or your extra clothes, or your towels, or anything like that. So we highly recommend investing in a dry bag backpack.
We were always looking for just like dry bags, and it's really nice to just have a dry bag in general. This doesn't necessarily pack up as well, but we like to use this as kind of our personal item, especially when we're traveling on planes. It's nice to just have an extra bag, and this is a really nice option for a second full bag, which keeps everything dry. Our next item that we really like to bring along is a pair of binoculars. You can pick yourself up a pair of binoculars for like 50 bucks somewhere. I know it might be another extra cost that you might not think is important, but it's really nice to have binoculars with you, because if you're going to see any sort of wildlife, for example, if you go to Costa Rica, you're going to be wanting to look for things on your own, and having a set of binoculars, just a small pair that you can throw in your bag, is really, really handy.
Yeah, we've used ours so many times. We've never regretted the extra weight that it adds to your bag. Another thing we always take with us is a headlamp. It might seem like a very simple thing, but we love having a headlamp and being able to have a light that we don't have to rely on our phone battery for, especially if you're going to be doing any sort of Amazon tour or anything that's at night. It's so nice to have a headlamp that you can just use. It's also nice in hostels just to be able to navigate your way to the bathroom without your phone.
Well, you're not going to be turning on the light if you're in a dorm room in a hostel too.
Yeah, exactly. So don't take up a lot of space. They don't weigh a lot, and we find that we use them all the time.
That's right. This is something that's very easy to overlook before you go traveling. We actually get the ones with batteries in it, and we will take out the batteries because of altitude. Say if you're in a plane or something like that, I think some batteries just don't really last. But you can also get ones that are just rechargeable. They last like 3 weeks or something like that. So we might be switching over to that, and we'll let you know how that goes. Next up, we have a portable clothesline, and it's really nice to be able to take a clothesline with you, because you are not always going to be able to dry your clothes in a dryer, And oftentimes when you're abroad, the dryers can be kind of weird and they might even ruin your clothes. So it's just nice to have that option to hang up your clothes, just hanging up between 2 trees or some poles or whatever. And
even just for your bathing suit and a towel, that stuff gets so musty and gross smelling, especially if you're traveling fast and you have to pack it in your bag. You do not want anything wet in your bag. It's so gross. It makes everything stink.
Yeah.
So even having the option to just quickly hang up your clothes for a night and have your bathing suit properly dry out before you pack up the next day is a game changer. And talking about laundry, we always bring a laundry bag with us. We have this small one that we put our socks and underwear in, and we have another one that we put our other dirty clothes in. And it's really nice to just have a separate bag to put your laundry in instead of just, especially if you're using a stuff sack, it's really gross to have all your laundry in there and just compress it all together. So definitely bring some sort of extra bag to keep your clothes separate if it's going to be a little while before you get to do laundry next.
That's right. It's also a really good option to get a small dry bag. We'll often use our other small dry bag to hold wet clothing because then it won't get everything else wet and it won't make everything else stink. So this is a good option. It's just made of polyester, but it's also nice to have a dry bag where it actually just seals everything in. And then you can just dry it all later. Or clean it all later. Next up, we have a backpack rain cover, and this is super handy, especially if you're going to a rainier country. It's just to be able to cover your backpack and not worry about your stuff getting wet. If you're not bringing a dry bag, it's also a good option just to cover your bag and make sure it stays dry. You can get different sizes.
Some backpacks have them built in, like they come out of the bottom, but ours don't. So these are only like $20, and they do the trick.
The next item that we would highly recommend taking with you is a microfiber towel. And microfiber towels are so great because they are light, they don't pack very big, and they dry quite quickly. It's just really nice to take something with you that's not such a big towel, but still does the trick. You
can't live the life of luxury when you're traveling.
Yeah, that's
you don't get to have a nice fluffy towel. You just got to deal with it, but they definitely do the trick, so it's worth it. Exactly. One thing that we're always concerned about when we travel is the water quality, and so having some sort of water tablets or water filtration system is really important to bring with you. We find that in South America, about 90% of the hostels and Airbnbs have a water filter already for you to use if you have a reusable water bottle, so definitely bring one of those along. But we also always like to carry some water purification tablets just for in those situations where we're not too sure about the water and we don't want to buy water, so definitely look into something like that. If you're going to a country where you think it'll be even harder to find purified water, maybe look into buying a water bottle that has a built-in filter system. There's a lot of those, or like a straw system that can filter water, but definitely look into bringing just something along that you can use in the case of an emergency and trying to look for water.
It doesn't taste the best, I will say. Like it is definitely just like kind of like putting chlorine in your water, but at least it'll clean it and you don't have to worry about getting some sort of stomach bug. It's fine for like a one-time, just like I need some water right now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And our last item that we never travel without is a power brick. So this is basically just an external battery that we use to charge our phones or even just our cameras and stuff sometimes. It's just really nice to have a charging brick. If you're not close to plugs, even at night too, sometimes the plugs are in weird places. I can probably get like 4 or 5 full charges on my phone just with this size. I'll put the size on the bottom here. It's just really nice to have something like this. They're a little bit heavy, but like I said, it's nice to have the option, especially if say you're going on a hike too. Your phone dies halfway through. It's just, you know.
Any sort of multi-day trips, we use it all the time.
That's right. Very useful.
So these are just 10 of the things that we cannot travel without, but obviously there's a lot more items that we travel with as well if you want to check out that other video. But also just comment below if you have an item that you need people to know that they need to travel with, or us as well. We'd love to hear what's one thing that you absolutely cannot travel without.
We like to think that we have it all together, but we know that you also have very good ideas, so we'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
And the bonus item, or the must-have travel items for 2023 when you're traveling and you're abroad and international traveling is a GoPro. We highly recommend that you bring a GoPro with you or some sort of small action camera. This is super nice, especially if you're going snorkeling or any sort of water activity. These are super versatile.
It's definitely a splurge item, but we would say that we would travel with this over like a camera or anything else if we're gonna pick one thing. If you're a traveler that isn't making full-time videos and you just want one thing to capture your experience, I would say this is the most versatile because it works underwater, it works on land, you can take photos, you can take videos. It's great quality. The newest GoPros have amazing quality. So if you're going to travel with one thing and you're maybe not super into cameras, this is something I would pack because it's so small and it really has everything you need if you're just a regular traveler.
Yeah, this is the GoPro Hero 10 that we're using, but basically the GoPro Hero 7 Black and up are just great options for that. It is actually the camera that got us into doing what we're doing right now, and so you never know.
You might become obsessed like us. We hope you found this helpful, hearing all the things that we cannot travel without. Now, if you are going to be traveling soon, please go and watch this video where we talk about how to avoid travel burnout and maintaining good mental health when you're traveling. It's a very important topic, so please go and watch that now. And like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe so you see more travel tips from us.
We'll see you in the next one.